When I was in the process of switching real estate brokerages, one thing that I found was that there's just not a lot of information out there on real brokerage yet. There's just not a ton of videos out there. It was a little difficult to find as much information on it as I wanted. Today, we are going to be answering some frequently asked questions, recently asked questions, / just things that I think it's important to know and have a little bit of clarification on beforehand if you are thinking about switching to real brokerage or joining real brokerage. So if you are somebody who is thinking about joining real brokerage, or if you are simply just curious, be sure to stay tuned until the end. You are not going to want to miss anything today. The first thing that I think it's important to understand when you're joining real brokerage is that CHIME isn't free. So what is CHIME? You may be confused. CHIME is a CRM system that Real Brokerage has made a deal with, to where all of the brokers at Real, if you are with Real, you get to use the CRM system if you choose to for $25 a month. Actually, it might be $30. Don't quote me on that. I think this is important to note because you're not obligated to use it. I don't know why anyone wouldn't use it, but if you want to use a different CRM, you are able to. But if you want to use CHIME, you can use it for $25 a month. It is a regularly $500 a month CRM. I've heard of other agents switching to Real just for this CRM, and my husband and I both have said after we switched, if we would have known as much as we know about CHIME now, like we would have switched just for CHIME too, because it is literally that amazing. I did not know that CRM systems this great even existed. The things that we're able now to do to automate and streamline our business are just like, it has been awesome. I think it's important to know that one, you don't have to use CHIME, their CRM, and two, CHIME isn't free, but it is a massive discount. At the brokerage where I was at previously, it was mandatory that we used their CRM system, and their CRM system we still had to pay for. It was like a fee that we paid every month for the CRM. So I know a lot of like brick and mortar brokerages, franchise brokerages are gonna be like that. The second thing that it's important to know before you join Real is that your broker's role is going to be much different. It's going to look much different than what you might expect or what you might be used to. Your broker is mainly going to be reviewing contracts and answering contract questions, that type of thing. You might be wondering, well, who do I go to about everything else? Who do I ask if I have a question about prospecting or marketing? Well, that is what your sponsor is for. Also, I have to add, Real has a amazing, like part of their whole culture is agents helping agents and collaborating with one another. There's weekly masterminds where Real top producing agents all over the country are sharing what's actually working for them and what they're doing. You can join live and ask questions on the mastermind. So there's so many different resources, but then there's also your sponsor. Everybody who signs up for Real has to have a sponsor. This isn't something that is a added fee to you by any means, but I think it's important to sign up under somebody as your sponsor who you trust, maybe who you want to model your business after. You know, if they do a certain type of prospecting or marketing that you want to learn more of, then it might be a good idea to sign up under someone who has some of that knowledge that they can share with you and pass down to you, that type of thing. Although you don't pay anything extra to have a sponsor, it is in your sponsor's best interest, whoever you sign up with, for you to succeed. They have a vested, is that the right word, interest in you succeeding, in your business succeeding, because they do get a residual passive income from the people that are signed up under them that they are sponsoring. Another thing that's important to know is that you have one broker. Typically, you're gonna have one broker, like principal broker throughout your state. And I think that's really beneficial if you're starting a team or if you have a team, because you're able to have team members on your team from across the state and they're able to have that same principal broker. Okay, next thing you need to know before you join Real Broker is there are 8 or 9, I want to say 9, correct me if I'm wrong if you know, ways to earn income here at Real. However, the number one way is through our commission split. The thing is, here at Real Broker, they have the option for agent attraction. If you are somebody who is passionate about helping other real estate agents with their business, and that is something that you're wanting to do. But in their contract, they actually have like some pretty clear guidelines and rules and just things that you cannot do in order to recruit people, if that makes sense, like, or in order to sponsor people or like sign up people under you at the company. Because although they see this as a valuable way to help other agents and they want to foster that culture of collaboration, they really want to protect from having a bad reputation. Because I know we've all had those experiences with another brokerage that has this business model where you are able to do agent attraction and you are able to sponsor agents and have that revenue share as a source of income. We've all had those experiences where it just kind of puts a bad taste in your mouth. They're salesy, they have these scripts, they like go recruiting hard, but they very highly discourage, we are not able to, that is just not how things go down at Real Broker, because they really want to protect the reputation. So while they do have agent attraction because they really believe in the culture of agent collaboration, and that's something I've just been loving so much about this company, is all of the amazing masterminds like I mentioned and whatnot, but they don't want it to turn into something where it just gives them a bad reputation and the recruiting is just taken the wrong way, I guess you could say. I don't really know how else to explain that, but I will say that probably 85% of all of the agents at Real are not doing agent attraction or have no interest in agent attraction. They just have interest in selling a lot of real estate. So with all of that being said, the number one way, although there are 8 or 9 ways to make income at Real, is through the commission splits, selling real estate. I will just share the commission split real quick because I do think that's something that's important to know if you're switching brokerages. The split is 85-15. So the brokerage keeps 15% and you keep 85% while you pay your way down toward capping. And once you do reach that cap, you keep 100% of the commission. Now, when I first got into real estate, my commission split as a new agent at a brick and mortar big franchise office was a 60-40 split, meaning that it sounds so crazy to me because I wasn't getting any leads handed to me like I'm not now. You know, that's not typical in real estate. You go find your own business. I was getting 100% of my own business, but that's actually not that uncommon. That's a very common split to just start off at. One thing that I think is cool about the way that Real Broker does their splits is that everyone has the same split, commission split. At these bigger franchise brokerages, you can negotiate your split. You can, generally when you start off, it's gonna be really crappy, but once you prove yourself and you're making a good income and you're, making the brokerage money essentially, then you can have a much better split. But even then, it's not going to be as good as obviously this type of split. It's not even gonna compare. There are no monthly fees. And like I said, the cap is $12,000 unless you're in a team. I can't believe I'm saying this because I've said this in past videos. First, if you haven't watched those yet, but I really feel like this style of brokerage, as much as I hate to say it because I always hated cloud-based brokerages. I said I would never join one. I thought it was so stupid to switch brokerages or to join a brokerage if you're a new agent for a low fees and low desirable commission splits. I just thought that was such a bad mindset, and I still do think so. I just always feel like I want to make so much money in real estate that the split is just insignificant or that it just doesn't matter. And I'm never about let's just see how much money we can cut, because that's only going to get you so far. I'd way rather think how much more can I earn, or how can I raise my income more, instead of just cutting costs, because cutting costs is only going to get you so far. So that is definitely not my mindset when it comes to my business. However, I really just think once you hear all of the things that you are able to do and the people you're able to learn from, and I just think that it's going to be very difficult for brick and mortar brokerages to compete with brokerages like Real Broker moving forward. I kind of see it as the brick and mortar brokerages kind of remind me of Hollywood Video or Blockbuster when Redbox came out, or Redbox and DVDs when Netflix came out. This brokerage is like the Netflix, and I don't think that a lot of people want to make the switch, and I think a lot of older agents are probably resisting because of how things have been done for so long. But man, things have changed so much in the real estate industry, even since I got my license. I have only been licensed since 2015, and I am not exaggerating when I say that the way that agents run their business and get their business has changed so drastically since then. There are no fees at Real until after you cap. However, once you cap, you pay a $285 transaction fee and a $30 BOP fee, which comes out of your first 3 closings. I think that's really helpful because you don't pay anything until you start making money. You're not just hit with this big fee. I remember being a newer agent and all of a sudden just having this $500 fee come out of my bank account, and I really hadn't started making consistent money myself yet. So that is one great thing about how they structure their fees. Another thing that I think it's important to know about before you join Real is that they have something called a pre-stock cap purchasing plan. Before you cap, every commission you take, you can take 5% of the commission amount and buy Real Broker stock. Whatever that 5% equals, the company will bonus 15%. So you have that overall commission amount. 5% of that is what you're able to purchase, and the company will bonus you 15%. There's also a post-cap stock purchase plan, and the way that is after you've capped, now after every closing, you can take 10% of your commission and purchase the stock, and they'll bonus you 30%. It is a 1-year hold on these stocks. You can take advantage of the 10% that you bought, but if you want to use the bonus that they give you, the 30%, then you have to wait a year. So as far as the stocks go, they're still giving what I would say is a pretty good amount of stocks because this is still a fairly new company. I believe there's 12,000 agents here. And I know from what I've heard is that when the company was even newer, they were giving a even crazier amount of stocks to their agents. And as the company grows, they're gonna just give less and less stock to their agents. And the reason they're doing this is because they're rewarding their agents who are joining for that risk of joining a newer company. But as with anything, I really believe, especially when it comes to stocks in this company, I really think that it's a really good idea to join early, and the earlier you join, the better. Anyway, I'm not gonna talk anymore about the stocks. There's a lot of other ways to earn free stocks at this company. I am not the Real Broker expert over here. I am just sharing, as I always have on this YouTube channel, my experience, what I'm learning, what's going on in my business, how things are going, and I hope that you were able to grab some value from today's video, whether you are thinking about switching to Real or not. If you have any questions about Real Broker, or if you want to set up a Zoom call to chat with me about Real Broker and see if it might be a good fit for you, feel free to reach out anytime. I would absolutely love to chat with you. And lastly, if you have a client relocating to Oregon, send them my way. I'd love to give you a referral fee, and I'll see you guys next week.